Welcome everybody to the Yavapai Amateur Radio Club breakout meeting. We do this every second and fourth Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Glad you're all here. We have a special guest tonight, Virgil K7VZ. Did I get that right?
Yeah, close enough.
Oh, okay. And his call sign is K7VZ. He's the ARRL Arizona Section Assistant Manager, and he's going to give us an update about what's going on in Arizona in regards to ARRL, and he knows everything there is to know about the ARRL, right, Virgil?
Boy, your confidence, yeah.
Thank you for being here, Virgil. We're looking forward to your information and question and answer afterwards, and go ahead and get with it. Thank you very much for being here.
All right, excellent. Yeah, you can hear me and see my screen okay?
Yep.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, so your section manager in Arizona is Rick W7RAP, and he has a cabin over by the Sholo area that doesn't get the best internet, so you know, thanks for inviting me here to present tonight, but it was kind of indirectly through him, and I'm glad I can fill in for him and bring this information to clubs. So yeah, here's some contact information and a picture of his ugly mug. But yeah, Rick is W7RAP. You can always get in contact with him through his email there or phone number, as well as the az-arrl.org website has information on our section. In Arizona, we fall under the Southwestern Division, which is 4 sections in Southern California, as well as all of Arizona. Our director is Dick Norton, N6AA, and there's his email. Last January, there was another gentleman from California that was elected as vice director after Ned had stepped down or didn't run for re-election. And he assumed the position for about a month, decided it was not for him. And after a struggle of what to do, I think it was officially in April, Ned was reappointed back into the vice director position. So there was some change on that position this year, and we're back to Ned AA7A, which he's a Phoenix Scottsdale resident. So I think that's good to have. We've got Dick's over in the California, but then we also in the Southwestern Division, we've got a vice director that represents Arizona. And then there at the bottom is their kkn.net N6AA is the website with information on our Southwest Division. Some recent happenings is just in, I think it was the end of August, they announced that there's a new CEO that was hired by the board, David Minster, NA2AA, and he's actually just about now been CEO active for a month. Haven't heard a whole lot of noise or anything out of him yet, but there's a picture and the announcement. There's also a link with a pretty good write-up. They gave a lot of his background and other information there. So yeah, it's worth checking out that URL as well on the ARRL website. In the ARRL for the Arizona section, something to be aware of is there's an upcoming election for section manager for Rick's job or position. It is elected to a 2-year term, which is the next term will be April 1st, 2021 through March 31st of 2023. The first notice was in the October QST. There'll be a second notice in the November QST, and a handful of dates there of if you or someone you know is looking at challenging Rick for re-election or running for section manager. Nominations are due December 4th. Then they print out the ballots and mail those to Arizona members on January 4th next year. With your completed voted ballot must be returned to headquarters by February 19th, and then whoever's elected assumes a position on April 1st. And there's again a URL at the bottom here that gives you more information on how to get nominated, or all the terms and the different information on section managers. Under each section is the field organization, and I've got most of them listed here, I believe. But I know Rick or anybody who's section manager is always looking for volunteers. So if you're not looking to get into one of those elected positions, I'm sure there's somewhere where you could help out. There's the section manager, the assistant section manager. But there's a lot of, club coordination. There's a handful of government liaison. If that's something you were maybe interested in assisting with, always looking for there's a youth coordinator, technical, maybe more technical people. Look through the list here and if you go to ARRL.org and then /field-organization, each one of those titles will have several paragraphs of what that role is kind of expected to do, guidelines. And I know quite a few of these are filled in Arizona, but there's always turnover, there's always vacancies. And I know Rick or whoever's section manager would definitely appreciate the help. So if you've got some, a little bit of spare time here and there, get involved, volunteer. I've handled several of these positions, and it's lots of fun, lots of good experience. All right, Field Day 2020 is come and gone, but I left this slide in there. They reported that it was as the headline reads, it was shaping up to be one for the record books. There were two pretty major rule changes that were allowed. One of them was that Class D stations, the home stations, could work other Class D stations, which normally has never been allowed. And everybody at home could now work each other for points. And then the second big rule is they allowed the aggregation into club scores for individuals working at different locations. They allowed those to be combined for a combined club score. And traditionally, the results are announced in the December QST, so they're not quite out yet, but based on log submissions and preliminary information that was available, it was really quite a successful, under the current conditions, successful field day this year. So look for that, another contest. I know they've been looking at, how can we deal with contests of, clubs not be able to necessarily come together. How can we still operate and have fun on the air? Some other things that have changed or have been somewhat new over the last year or maybe even two is, with your ARRL membership, you get your QST magazine or the contest journal or QAX are an additional cost. But I think that was just in January or earlier this year. They changed it to where now the ARRL publishes 4 digital magazines. You can still get hard copies. The contest journal and QEX are an additional fee if you want the paper or print copies. But all members now, it's a membership benefit that if you log on to your ARRL account, you have access to all the digital editions each. I guess they're not all monthly, but Each edition is available on the digital format. So that's pretty cool. Of quite a member ad there, I think. Also, if you're into the podcast, they've got several excellent podcasts that they put out for audio. There was The Doctor Is In, has kind of reformatted to Eclectic Tech. So Now What has been reformatted to this On the Air, which kind of coordinates with the On the Air magazine. Both of those are focused more to the newer beginner hams. So, different learning activities or things that, if you've been a ham for 20 or 30 years might not quite be of an interest to you, but to somebody that just got their license, they definitely want to check out the On the Air magazine as well as the podcast. And then there's also still the publication of the ARRL audio news that's put out there. And then also a new, I kind of like the emails how they're formatted, but there's the ARRL Current, which is a monthly email that gives you an overview of different publications, reminders of what's available, of these magazines above, and pretty nice email notification system that they're working on. And then also something else that I think just started in like July, maybe August, is this ARRL Learning Network. If you follow the link here, I know last month I attended one that was put on by Brian, W7JET from Arizona here, but it was maybe about a 30 to 45 minute seminar. And I think they're doing them once a month, maybe twice a month, to where it's different seminars. I know Joe Eisentrig out of, where's he, North Dakota or Nebraska, was doing, I saw one advertised for him that he was going to do a kit building seminar, but it's a different kind of learning seminar series that they're publishing on that learning network. And Brian out of Arizona spoke on the Summits on the Air. So that was really cool to be able to listen into that. So check those out of different information or places to learn and get information that the ARRL is focusing on. So got a couple items that may get your blood boiling or get you riled up, but one of the big ones is the FCC has announced through the 2018 RABOM Act that they're reassessing expenses and fees, and one of the proposals has been to add a $50 license fee for new licenses as well as renewals. If you do like an address change or something administrative, that won't include the fee, but it equates to $5 a year for a 10-year license. But yeah, they are looking at instituting a $50 license fee. They are suggesting that you file comments in opposition alongside the ARRL. And the big link here at the bottom that has just a ton of information beyond what I could put on a slide is this ARRL.org and then FCC-fees-proposal. There's several, if you go to that URL, there's several PDFs with information on what's being proposed, as well as the comment period is currently open. So you can go, you have to go in and comment on this MD docket 20-270, but the comment system is open for this. They do have plenty of information at this URL, so that's kind of one of the things we're facing, and I know the ARRL is opposing that and encouraging members to comment as well. Another something that happened was the ARRL did oppose the changes to the 3.5 gigahertz band. They kind of lost. It was a scenario pretty much of money talks, and there's companies out there wanting to spend millions of dollars on that segment. So they have announced that they're going to sunset our access to that band. It starts November 9th, applies to the 3.4 to 3.5 gigahertz segment, and then at a later date, the 3.3 to 3.4, and then kind of the same thing. They're going to open comments, but as of November 9th, we no longer have access to 3.4 to 3.5 gigahertz. And again, I've got a URL. I'll send the slides out afterwards, or you guys can distribute them, but here's another link to lots of information besides just the quick paragraph here. All right, so more Arizona news of what's going on in Arizona. And I've got a big Hamfest question mark, and I know a lot of clubs are working hard trying to return to normal, to host Hamfest, to get back into VE testing or any club meetings or club events. But yeah, this year's proven quite difficult. I kind of crossed them out here of at the latest announcement. The November 7th was Harkfest, and the Cochise Hamfest have, as far as we know, have both been canceled for this year. I don't have it on here, but November 14th was supposed to be the Oro Valley Marana Hamfest, has been canceled. Superstition has canceled their Hamfest. I don't think they were able to rent. They wanted, my understanding is they wanted to move forward with the Hamfest and social distance, space out the spots, but was unable to, rent the facilities. So they are transitioning to, they're still trying to have their raffle and some small scale tailgating. They've moved to the Oregon Stop pizza restaurant in Tempe or Mesa. And so they're having what they're calling a pizza party instead. So you will be able to go and get pizza, and then it's a big cafeteria style. So there's plenty of room inside. And then I know if you go to the Superstition, superfest.org, if you're interested in going, they've got the full details there. But they're still having a raffle. They're still having the pizza party, and then limited tailgating. So they're trying to move forward. But yeah, then other events that get into 2021, I know normally early January is the Thunderbird Hamfest, which they've postponed, as well as they've already announced that Yuma has had to be canceled or postponed. So those won't be happening next year. We do have a whole slide with a bunch of information on QuartzFest. That's the third weekend in January. They plan to still continue. They're calling it Quartz Pause. So they're going to be really scaled back to where you can still show up in the desert camp, but they're going to focus on the social distancing and no tent events, or it's scaled back from the previous years quite a bit, but there still is the opportunity to show up during the same time frame and camp out, get on the air from your RV or from there. But it's going to look quite a bit different next year as well. And again, I've got a link here with their information. So definitely, as it gets closer, or if you're interested in going, go research and check out more information there. I know this already happened in October, but kind of related to the field day slide that I had up there, is the Arizona QSO Party was early October, and preliminary results was they had pretty good turnout, lots of logs submitted. But it's kind of left it up here as a reminder too of there's lots of on-air events. Look for those, get on the air. People being more or less stuck at home are really the contest activity is kind of seem to be up, and lots of stations on the air. So, and I know this year the ARRL was able to support 6 different category awards. So that was pretty exciting news as well. VE test sessions. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Laurel VE session, but they do electronic or the testing is tracked and submitted electronically, which instead of your 8 to 10 day wait for new licenses, renewals, or upgrades, by the next day you've got results. And the ARRL has been piloting that in Yuma with John, N0RHZ. And the beta testing has been extremely successful so far. So for ARRL VE teams, look for that coming up. They're looking at improving the VE and no longer that, you got to wait 10 or even longer, days to get results. Within a day or two, they want to have turnaround. And so I think that's a positive move. And as well as the spot-on paragraph, many VE groups are really trying to resume testing. But check the websites, check the ARRL listings before you go. Make sure that the testing sessions are still active, and they may have special rules on how to attend. So just something to kind of be aware of. But VE testing is happening out there. I know it's cut back quite a bit though. And just got a screenshot of the ARRL website in there. A lot of this information, I pretty much every slide had a link back to the ARRL website. But if you haven't been there in a while, check out, here's the magazines I was talking about down in the center block. There's just each one of these tabs up here at the top has got a ton of information in. So, check that out, log in, browse around for a while. Lots of good information there. And that's pretty much it. Any questions or feedback? Anything you guys want to talk about?